I'll be honest, I wasn't even going to do a video on this. I don't even usually talk about this type of football on this channel. But the events that converged in Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana on the evening of February 9th, 2025 were simply too spectacular to ignore. The shenanigans began before a ball was even kicked, and that's because some genius, an emphasis on genius, had the idea to recruit Jameis Winston as part of the Fox media team for the Super Bowl coverage. He started beef with the New York Giants. He raced a horse in a pennycab. He interviewed a beignet. He threw crab legs to people on Bourbon Street, one of which was wearing a Gronk jersey, who proceeded to spike said crab leg. He dressed up as a pirate and started dancing on a bar while handing out what I'm pretty sure was lean to fans. No hate to Jalen Hurts, but my Super Bowl MVP was certainly Jameis Winston. Now, as a diehard member of the Bills Mafia, you best believe I was all Eagles for this one. I even emailed my 8th grade science teacher who's from Philly to request a one-time bandwagon pass, which he granted. Legend. When the first two drives ended in punts for both teams, I contemplated getting into the Kendrick spear early and turning the TV off. And then, when the first ghost PI call denied a 50-yard A.J. Brown reception, my buttons were really starting to be pressed. You best believe my feathers were ruffled. I was not a happy camper. But then, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball to the wrong team, and hope was restored. Jahan Dotson found his way to the end zone, and the Eagles opened the scoring. Except they didn't. Early in the game, and the Eagles were being tested by the black magic of the Kansas City Chiefs. However, they refused to be another casualty to the AFC Giants' long reign of terror, so they buckled down and they did what they do best, the almighty tush-push. The Eagles were on the board. Chris Jones may have broken his neck, but this was just the start. After this, the Eagles dropped the fucking gloves. They gave the Chiefs more of a beating than a light post in Philly. Jake Elliott drilled a field goal to start the second half, and with 7 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the first half of Super Bowl 59, the greatest thing to ever happen on a gridiron field occurred. Pat Mahomes received the snap and scrambled to the sideline under pressure. He launched the ball on the field, but instead of reaching its intended target, it reached the Caucasian hands of Philadelphia Eagles cornerback Cooper DeJean. This was the rookie's first ever NFL interception, and there isn't much of a better way to do it. Except there is. DeJean caught the ball at his own 40 and started running like a bat out of hell. Bodies decked in white and red simply fell to the ground in pursuit of him. He was moving at Godspeed. Hugging the sideline, he dove between two Chiefs defenders as he slipped into the end zone. Cooper DeJean has not just put the Eagles 16-0 up against the Kansas City Chiefs in the first half of Super Bowl 59. He has recorded a pick six in the Super Bowl on his birthday in front of the President of the United States, his first ever career interception, as well as effectively bringing racism everywhere to a permanent end. The Eagles were on their way to effectively dismantling the evil empire that has become known as the Kansas City Chiefs. And just like how the Rebels did it back in A New Hope, the proton torpedo was fired into the Death Star's exhaust valve by a previously unproven farm boy who has since had his name esteemed into the halls of eternal greatness. By the time Kendrick took the stage for the halftime show, the Eagles were 24-0 up. Pat Mahomes had been sacked 3 times, and Travis Kelce hasn't recorded a single catch. Kendrick proceeded to piss off every white dude over the age of 35 in the United States of America, which is honestly the sign of a good halftime show. My main takeaway of the halftime show was, imagine being Drake. Imagine you call someone short, and then 10 months later, 65,000 people are saying, in unison, at the Super Bowl, that you like kids. America is a beautiful place. Don't let anything convince you otherwise. When I was like 6, me and my brother were playing outside in the snow, and an older kid pushed me over. My brother, who was also younger than this kid, proceeded to prime Vince Wilfork tackle him, take his boot off, and hit him over the head with it until his ass ran back home crying. This is exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles did to the Kansas City Chiefs in the second half. The Chiefs were lying face down in the snow, crying, while little bro repeatedly hit them over the head with their own boot. Devonta Smith made it 33-0 with 2:40 to go in the third quarter, and the Chiefs were dead in the water. At halftime, there were talks of the Chiefs pulling a Brady and coming back. These talks all fizzled out fast on Travis Kelce's NFL career when Devonta Smith crossed that goal line. The Chiefs scored for the first time with 30 seconds left in the third quarter and summed up their night when they missed a 2-point conversion. They clawed a few points back with 5 minutes to go in the game, but the Eagles were trolling at this point. Kenny Pickett, the same man who forgot to release the ball during a throw this season, was in. The Gatorade was already poured over Sirianni. A.J. Brown was finishing up his Goodreads review for inner excellence. The city of Philadelphia was starting to sizzle like a Tony Luke's cheesesteak. The final score was 40-22 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts went 17 for 22, had 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a Super Bowl MVP to his name. Patrick Mahomes went 21 for 32, was sacked 6 times, and threw 2 interceptions. Statistically, the worst ever performance by a quarterback in Super Bowl history. There was a new energy across the country. The Kansas City Chiefs' 781-day reign of terror as Super Bowl champions had vanished into thin air. We were free. After all we had been through, a nation in healing, we were able to rejoice. We had something to smile about. Reasons to love thy neighbor were once again instilled upon each individual across the country. All the narrow wins, all the sacrificed goats in the locker room, all the black magic of the Kansas City Chiefs. It all wore off at the perfect time, and it did so in front of our very eyes. Worthy heroes rose to the occasion. New legends were born, and lampposts were obliterated in Philadelphia. The city of brotherly love. That's what they call it. You can say the people of Philadelphia's methods of expressing this love may be questionable at times, but there's one thing that you are simply unable to argue with, and that's the joy, the relief, the ecstasy that we are blessed with on the evening of February 9th, 2025. So Eagles, on behalf of Bills Mafia, as well as the rest of America, thank you from the bottom of our recently refilled hearts. Just please try not to kill anyone celebrating this time. Chill the fuck out, please.
No way.
Yes! Come on! Go DeJean!